Welcome to the YouTube channel Buddha. From this video, we are going to talk about 2014 A-level paper question, one of the question from the 2014 A-level paper, which is in my tube, page number 16, right? We have released two videos already. One is from the same area under the case 2, one is from the 2020 A-level paper. If you haven't watched, you can watch that particular video in our YouTube channel. And at the same time, in the previous video, we have done 2015 A-level paper question under the LKAS2. From these discussions, I am supposed to do 2014 and the 2013 A-level paper question from the LKAS2. If you haven't done these two questions before you watch this video, please do those two questions and then again you go through the video. Got it? Right. So then these two questions are available in my tube, page number 16 and 17 respectively. We will move into the 2014 A-level paper question first, right? You can read this. Keep in mind, I'm focusing 2021 A-level students from this particular video. The following information pertaining to a product of a company for the month of March 2014, right? They have given few information. On 1st March, you had an inventory balance of 3000 units. Each you bought at 80. Then again, on 10th March, you have purchased 5000 units at 90. Then altogether in the store there are 8000 units. And then there is a return from the purchasers on the 10th March 2014, 1000 units. So there was a purchaser's return of 1000 units. This is a purchaser's return. This is not a sale, it is a purchaser's return. And again on 20th March, 3000 units. So in your examination, if there was a sales return or a purchaser's return, definitely your examiner would say what sales or what purchasers will be returned. Got it? Therefore, in this question, following the same practice, the examiner said this purchaser's return was take place from this particular amount, right? Therefore, likewise in every question, if there is a sales return or a purchaser's return, that will be mentioned by your examiner. On 20th March, there was another 3000 units of purchases, and then on 22nd March, examiner say there was a sales, but examiner doesn't say how many units you have sold. That you need to find out. But she says how much the closing stock, how many units are available in your closing stock at the end of the period. There are how many units? 4000 units, right? Now what you can understand here, first of all, definitely you need to find out how many units have been sold. So there is a reverse calculation here. Look at this. First thing that you need to do is you need to calculate how many units of inventory you have sold. How to do that calculation? Look at this. Be practical when doing the calculation. There were 3000 units and then you purchase 5000 units. Altogether there has to be 8000 units. But you return 1000. Then there are 7000 units. And while you are having 7000, you bought another 3000. Then how many units has to be there? 10,000 units should be there in your store, right? You should have the 10,000 units. But now at the end of the month, you are having only 4000 units. That means that how many units you have sold? 6000 units. Again, there were 3000 units and you bought 5000 units, and then you have returned 1000 units. Then how many units has to be there? 8000 minus 1000, 7000 plus 3000, 10,000 has to be there. But you are having only 4000. So while you are having 4000 units at the end of the year, so then you can make an assumption you have sold how many units? 6000 units, right? Then they want you to calculate, the company uses the first in first out method to price the issues. That means that is your cost formula. You are required to calculate the cost of sales for the month ending 31st March 2014 and value of the inventory as at 31st March 2014. Right. So we can calculate the cost of sales. They ask you to calculate the cost of sales and the inventory. Okay. First we calculate the cost of sales. Cost of sales. How many units we sold? 6000 units have been sold. Okay. We will again under the first in first out method. Keep in mind your cost formula is FIFO method. Right. We'll value this 6,000. Put up. What is assumption? FIFO. Therefore, first in first out. Now whatever the inventory you got first, you need to issue first. Whatever the inventory you got first, 3,000, that you can issue entirely at a value of 80. Then it will be 240,000. Out of 6,000, 3,000 have issued. Another how many more units you are supposed to issue? Another 3,000 units supposed to be issued. That 3,000 you issue from the next purchase, which is at 90. Then 3,000 into 90, 270,000. Therefore, it has to be 510,000. So the cost of sales will be rupees 510,000 under the first in first out method. And also they want you to calculate the cost of the closing stock. How are you going to calculate the closing stock? How do you want to calculate the closing stocks? Look at this. There are 4,000 units in your store at the end of the period. First in first out. That means whatever inventory you bought first will be issued first. If you follow the first in first out method, your closing stock would remain with the most recent purchase. Tell me what is the most recent purchase? 3,000 units, right? And that 3,000 units you bought at how much? This 3,000 units, as per the information, you bought at 70. Therefore, this 3,000 units you valued at 70. Got it? As per the information, last purchases you made at 70. Then there's a 210,000, but you need to value 4,000 units. This 4,000 consists with this 3,000 and 1,000 units from the other purchase at 90. Then that is 90,000. Then altogether, cost of the closing stock has to be 300,000. So based on these information, you can say cost of sales is 510,000 and your closing inventory would be 300,000. As per the information, your answer has to be which one? Fourth one. Your answer has to be the fourth one. Okay. Complete your question, Buddha. Right. Okay, Buddha. 2013 A-level paper question. This is in my tube, page number 17, 2013. If you do not have the tubes, you can go through the past paper book, and we are doing 2013 A-level paper question from the LKS 2. Right. We'll read the question. The following information relate to a company for the month ending 31st March 2013. So that they say your opening inventory balance 1,000 units at 100 each. That's the opening balance. Then on 7th March, your purchase 5,000 units at 120. Then on 15th March, you have purchased another 3,000 units at 140. 3,000 units at 140. Then you sold 8,000 units. Then you sold how many units? 8,000. So then 1,000, 5,000, 6,000, 9,000. Then when you sold 8,000 units, your closing stock remained with how many units? Yeah, 1,000 units. Your closing stock remained with 1,000 units. The company uses the first in first out method. Again, FIFO, first in first out method. FIFO method is the best method of calculating the closing stock, right? We have discussed the reason in our live classes, if you all can remember. The net realizable value of the year end rupees 120. So that they say NRV per unit rupees 120. Cost of sales for the year ending 31st March 2013 and the inventory balance will be shown in the balance sheet, right? You are required to calculate the cost of sales. How do you want to calculate the cost of sales? You have issued 8,000 units. How you are valuing that 8,000? Assumption is first in first out. That means you need to assume this 1,000 units you have issued first. These 1,000 units you have issued at 100, right? And then again you are issuing all to the 8,000 units. then you have to issue this 5,000 units also entirely. That cost of it rupees 120. There's an inflationary situations in the economy, and altogether 6,000 units you have issued. Another 2,000 more units you need to issue, that you are issuing at 140. Then you can take the value of equity. 1000 in 100 is 100,000. 120 into 5,000, 600,000. It's 208,000. All the cost of sales under the FIFO method, it's 980,000. Yes, 980,000. And then thereafter, you wanted to calculate the value to be shown in the SOFP, right? Closing stock, closing stock. So there are 1,000 units. There are 1,000 units. How much the cost? You know the fundamental rule in recording the inventories. Inventory should be recorded at lower of cost and net realizable value. How much the cost of these 1,000 units? So the cost per unit, this 1,000, how do you value? 5,4. Then you go with the most recent purchase. Most recent purchase you did at 40, 140. So then the cost is how much? 140,000. But net realizable value will be how much? The net realizable value, that 1,000 you value at 120, which will be 120,000. Then based on the LKS 2, inventory should be recorded at lower of cost and net realizable value. Then what value to be recorded in the SOFP? What value to be recorded in the SOFP? Which is 120,000. So then, as per the information given in the question, you can select the question number 3. Right. Okay, we have done 2014 and 2013 past paper question from the LKS 2. We will do the balance question in another video. Please complete the questions if you haven't done already. Right. Thank you, Vita. Please complete your question.